early June. Everything's looking dry, everything's looking wilted. Everything needs a little work. More so in the irrigation system area, which, interestingly enough, as I've talked about, I don't think I've talked about this before on here, but you would think the irrigation guys who install the systems would set it up correctly so the fertilizer guy doesn't have to consume a bunch of his own time for that customer to get it fixed. But you know what? That's part of it. And I mean that in the best of ways. It's part of it. So anyway, what we spraying today? Well, round 3 is underway, my friends at JTLK Turf. We're spraying a couple different things. Some 2600, some 700, both at 6 ounces per thousand. That's right, a very light rate. So very low amount of nitrogen as well. But it's cool because it's kind of a continual, if you will, to the previous round. And being that it's minimal, it's got iron in there, it's not going to push a lot of growth, which is my favorite part. But it's going to give us that nice double dark blue-green look that we all know and love in the summertime. Just in time for July 4th. And that's my plan here. I gotta say, I haven't done one of these in a hot minute. Serious. But it's good though. It's good to get back out and do these types of things. So anyway, fertilizer. We're spraying out 2600 and 700, both at 6 ounces per thousand. The 2600 is a great N/micronutrient source. And the 700, although it has a little bit of N, the reason we're spraying that out is because it has iron in it. And as I've talked about before, it's the iron that gives us that double dark blue-green look that we all know and love. Weed control. This round, our targets are a little bit different compared to round 2. Round 2, we were targeting dandelions and broadleaf weeds. This round, we're targeting a little bit of everything. Anything we didn't get in round 2, which is doubtful because we blanket sprayed. We're targeting crabgrass and nutsedge as well. And whatever else falls into those categories. But that's what we're targeting. And the weed control we're using for that, albeit a really expensive yet effective one, Q4 Plus. That's what we're spraying right now. As you guys know, I love Q4 Plus in the summertime. And I'm actually doing a blanket of Q4. I don't know. I was thinking about doing spot spraying with the Q4 because it is a little on the higher side. But honestly, I prefer doing it this way because by blanket spraying it, not only am I getting all the weeds that I might miss if I spot spray, but I'm also taking less time to get the job done. If I were to just put my fertilizer in the spray tank and walk over this again with a backpack sprayer, I'm going to tell you guys, I've done that before. Although it saves chemical costs, it's miserable. Everything takes double the time, if not more, especially on these larger properties where you literally gotta walk it again. And your goal is to avoid callbacks. Callbacks are free applications for the customers, and that eats into the pocketbook. So I try to stay away from that as much as possible. So if I have to spend a little more money, that's fine. So I guess really what I'm trying to say is it really depends on what you're more comfortable with. Because a lot of people do ask me, like when I'm doing a fertilizer round, liquid fertilizer that is, should I just tank mix in my weed control and blanket spray it? Or should I just have a separate tank and spot spray it? Well, it really boils down to what you want to accomplish and how you want to spend your time. If you don't mind spending extra time, then spot spray is the way to go. Because a lot of the lawns, if they are healthy, like mine are, they don't have weeds everywhere. It's a good way to go. And it cuts back on your chemical cost. However, on the other side of the coin, There's your time. Your time, right? So if you do it that way, you're going to save money, but you're going to spend more time, if that makes sense, right? Whereas if you spot spray, you're going to save money, but it's going to take more time. I think you guys get the gist of it, right? Any of my DIY friends that are watching, I'm going to tell you right now, both of these products are available on jakethelawn.net, which means you could purchase these products yourself if you want to, and you could spray them out on your lawn just in time before 4th of July. Color difference shows up around 7 to 12 days, guys. I'm telling you, the 2600 and the 700 is a deadly combo, and I mean that in the best of ways. 700 and 2600 together, oh, it's an unstoppable force in the summertime, or really any time. It's up to you. That's the cool thing about these products. You can spray them out however you want, anytime you want. This is just how I do it. And if you want to do it the way I do it, that's cool. If you want to do it your way, by all means, go ahead and report back to me. I always love to hear that type of thing in the comments about how you guys try different things on your own, and you know, different mixes, different cocktails, especially with the next products. It's always cool to hear stories about guys who do that and how it works on their lawn in a matter of a week or so. So yeah, share down below, and if it's a good result, maybe it's something we could do a video on. I have to plant my flags, as you guys know, right here. Everybody always asks me, where do you source your flags from? Well, there's a lot of good companies out there. One of my favorites, though, is Blackburn Manufacturing. This is their generic design with my JTLK logo on there because, you know, JTLK, right? And they do such a nice job on these. The plastic basing, the flags, everything about them is so nice. I'm actually almost out of them, so that's part of why I'm sharing this with you, because I love this design so much. I got more coming. I can't wait for them to get here. It's so nice. But yeah, Blackburn Manufacturing, one of the greatest nationwide lawn flag makers. Another quick turnaround story. So I picked this one up last year. Actually, no, I picked this one up at the end of 22. But last year is when I started treating it. Now, this one is full service, both cut and treat. I've been doing it that way now since the beginning of 23. It's summer 24 now, so we're about a year and a half in. Everything looks way better. You see, this lawn used to be cut down to, I want to say, what? Like 3/4 inch. He used to scalp this thing. And then I took it over and I basically said, hey, we're gonna let this thing come up. We're gonna let it breathe. We're gonna let it do all that fun stuff. We did that, let it come up to about, honestly, the tallest setting that my Titan will go, which is 4.5 inches. I've been mowing it there now since last year. Haven't had any problems whatsoever. All good. The telltale signs of early drought and heat stress. I wouldn't say heat stress because it's not hot. Like, we're literally in the mid 70s. I mean, we're gonna be nice and hot here toward the end of the week, which is favorable for me because we're also spraying out dethatch. And the dethatch is molasses, right? And the molasses in there is heat activated. So when we have more heat, it's gonna speed up the process of microbial activity, which in turn will eat up all of that thatch. Put it back into the ground where it can be used as a food source.
This video is brought to you guys by the fine folks at Horizon 360. Guys, this software handles everything from customer acquisition to customer retention. So if you run a small business, you own a small business, maybe you got a spray business, maybe a mow business, landscape business, heck, maybe you do it all. This is going to be the software for you guys. Horizon 360 handles everything, guys, from customer acquisition to customer retention. You have the ability to send out mass emails to all your existing clients, keep them updated on what's going on. You have the ability to send out estimates on the fly to any new customers. Speed is key in 2024, so that's very important. And on top of that, you also have the ability to dispatch your trucks, your crews, see where they're at in real time, see who's being efficient, see who needs a little bit of work to be more efficient. And on top of that, you also get financial overviews for what's coming in and what's going out, so you can use all that data to make smart decisions to pivot your business in the right direction. There are a couple different plans out there. Their basic plan is free to everyone if you want to try that out. That gives you all the core fundamentals that you need to run and operate your business. If you want something a little more top tier, a little more live, you want those dispatching features for your crews, you want the trackers, use code H360JTLK at checkout to get 3 months free any of those 2 top tiered plans. Thank you so much to Horizon 360 for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it.
Okay, who remembers this property? I gotta say, this one is an incredible turnaround. I'll put some footage up of the last time I was here, but it was full of dandelions. It was thin right here. It's coming in nice. I think a fall aeration overseeding will do it. Like, literally, we're conquering this land quick, and that's what I like to see. Color is still holding very strong. Like I said, we've had 2 apps, and on top of that, we've also had liquid aerate, and it's holding in strong, like really, really strong. So, damn, looks good. A little dry right here, but you know, nothing the irrigation system can't fix. Oh, I think the same mowing guy takes care of both of these, because look at, this is what I live for, guys. Look at that cutoff, right? JTLK, not JTLK. Oh, I live for that hard cutoff. Oh, I love setting the neighbors straight. It's my favorite thing. Anyways, enough being crazy. We got work to do. Yeah, see the hose twisting up? You don't want that where it looks like that black line is spiraling. I have a way to fix that, and I'm actually going to show it to you guys if you want me to. So comment below if that's something you want to see, because I'll do it. I know how much you guys love it when I teach you something, so let's do it. This is amazing. It really is. God, it's even greener on this side too. Yes, it is. You know, that happens an awful lot, where I'll give a quote, or I'll, in the spring when I'm walking door to door, handing out door hangers, I'll end up talking with somebody and they'll go, "No thanks, I got somebody." And then I get the person next door to them, and after about a year or 2, they come around and they go, "You know what? You do a stellar job. How much?" So, have faith, my friends. Have faith, prevail, do the best work possible. And when you do, let's just say fortune favors the bold. So I call that playing the long game. The lawn game. Not the long game. The lawn game, right? A lot of people, when they get in this, they like to play the short game. They try it for a year, a couple of months in some cases, and then they want to give up because it gets too hard, right? Well, I got news for you. Business is hard. Nobody ever said it was going to be easy, right? So what I've found is, if you're truly passionate about something and you stick with it long enough, you might just be surprised where you end up. Been living by that for a while, and I gotta say, it's the truest piece of advice I've ever heard. Okay, to all my mowing guys out there, I'm not dogging on you. I respect what you do because I've done it and I still do it to a certain extent. Mowing, right? I want to give you a suggestion. Don't do this along the edges, okay? I'm not saying this as a fertilizer guy. I'm saying this because I care about the well-being of the turf. And if you care about the well-being of the turf, which the customer will appreciate over time, and you edge with a trimmer. We edge with trimmers all the time, and if you guys want, I could teach this as well. But when you edge with a trimmer, you want to keep that groove like razor thin, almost invisible, because when you open it up like this, you allow crabgrass and other weeds to grow through. Like, check it out right here. Weeds are opportunistic. They're growing right here. And even worse, you get some areas right here where it looks like it was beveled off at 45. This is a no-no, a big no-no, because again, that's going to create more area for things to dry up, weaken, and then weeds can take over, and then that's more chemical cost on your end. So one way to not only save your lawn but save you money. Don't do that. This right here, this is bent grass, or creeping bent grass, and as you can see, it is completely taken over this whole area. Now, as far as what I do about bent grass in my lawns, now this neighborhood, as I've mentioned, used to be a really prominent golf course around here, 27 holes. Now it's residence. All these years later though, the bent grass that they grew on the greens is still popping up in random spots all throughout. So because of that, these lawns are littered with them. So people ask me, what do I do about bent grass? Well, I leave it up to the client, because quite frankly, it's not the best looking, but from afar, it's not a deal breaker. Like, I'm honestly looking at this, and you get some fertilizer on it, actually looks kind of cool, right? But if they wanted to take extreme measures and get rid of it, that is something we do as well, if they want us to, and if they want to spend the money. But other than that, just let it go. I actually kind of like it. Okay, a couple things I'm seeing back here. I'm a little out of breath. Anyway, a couple of good things I'm seeing. Number one, this is what I call a good symbiotic relationship between applicator and homeowner. So when I get done with my apps, I always leave a little, leave sheet stating what was applied. And on top of that, I also leave suggestions. Standard stuff, really, if you think about it. There's no magic recipe to it, but I think that's something everybody should be doing if you're not, because it's standard. But what's cool is when you and the client get on the same page, you leave recommendations because you're doing your homework. You know what needs to be done to make it better. And the client goes through and does it and listens, and you listen to what problems they have, and you solve them, and you just build a good solid relationship. I'm telling you, improvements can happen very quickly. Look at this lawn. If I show you a clip of it from 2 months ago when I was here doing the second round, you can see it really needed a lot of help. But now it's getting all the help it can get from both parties. And if there's a mowing guy coming here, like I said, I think he hired a mowing company. I could tell by the stripes and the trimming. That's good. That's very good, because now lawn's getting all the attention it needs to look its best. And that's what it's all about. I was just thinking, as I always do, while I'm spraying these lawns, and it's come to my attention over the last couple of years that I've been doing this for people that the lawn care guy gauges all actions done by homeowners around him. Now hear me out, guys. Any of my pro friends out there, maybe you can relate to this. Any of my DIY friends out there, you might learn something. So in my neighborhood over the past decade, as you guys know, I built quite a foothold in there with full service accounts, right? And every time I go in there to spray them, it's almost like the spray them, mow them, whatever, the homeowners around me who typically aren't out, all of a sudden, oh, time to go out and mow the grass. Jake's out mowing the grass. Jake's out doing a treatment. Maybe I ought to run to Home Depot and go pick up some Scott's Turf Builder. I don't use Scott's Turf Builder, but you guys get the idea. I call it the Lawn Pro effect. I really do. In my case, the Lawn Kid effect. Because every time I'm out doing something, half hour later, 2 or 3 neighbors come out and they start doing the same thing. Who's been there? Comment below.